guys, my name is Galina and this is Jana. So we're here at 1000 Lashes. Today's video we're going to talk about lash retention and how you can maximize your client's retention and troubleshoot with any potential problems if you're having retention issues. So let's start.
So what is retention issues exactly? Why do eyelash extensions fall out faster than usual? We get that question all the time on our Instagram, and I mean, especially for people that are just starting out eyelash extension as an eyelash artist doing eyelash extensions, that is their number one problem, because it's hard to keep a clientele to keep coming back if you're always having retention issues.
Yeah, so one of the main things that I would encourage you guys to do is like write down some questions that you can actually ask your clients when they contact you and tell you that they're having problems. So the first question would be, when was the last time that you washed your lashes? Have you washed your lashes in the last 24 hours, let's say? Very often they're gonna say no, or sometimes they will say yes, but they're not necessarily telling you the truth because they know that that's what you want to hear. So I would really encourage you to like take a look at their lashes and see, do they look clean? Do the lashes look clean? Because very often that will be the easiest issue that you can pinpoint, is that the client is simply not cleaning their lashes, and that will obviously cause them to fall out. So that's the first question I would ask your clients.
The second question I would ask them, a lot, what happens is that we get eyelash extension shedding or natural lashes shedding due to hormonal issues. So that could be hypothyroid, hypothyroid, it could be pregnancy, after giving birth, or even being on any kind of hormones, anything that is hormone related for us as a woman. So you need to ask any questions like that, you know, because if they are having retention issues and their natural lashes are falling out with the extension, I mean, then that means they're losing, their cycle is a lot faster than people's regular cycle of lash shedding. So that will be the second question I would ask. Very, very important to know if they're having any kind of hormonal difference. Maybe they're gonna say no, maybe they don't know, but you should definitely know that that could be one of the reasons why their extensions are falling out faster.
Yes, and so that's one of the things that you could do. And then the other thing, you have to really ask them like, okay, are you picking your lashes? Like, obviously, like sometimes if you ask the question like that, the client is gonna be like, no, of course not. Like, no, like, because they might get defensive, but you should also, once again, evaluate their lashes. Does it look like there's some lashes missing on one side, for example, or like some damage to the natural lashes that looks like they have been ripped out? Because like a lot of the times the clients can get nervous and just start pulling on them. I know I do that sometimes.
Same. I do that, and I know if I'm stressed out and I'm going through a lot of stress, nails and my lashes, they won't last. I just know that, and hence why I kind of stopped getting them done, because I know like if I get a little stressed out, I just start picking at them, and then if one feels a little weird, I just start pulling at it, and it's just horrible. So I know as a lash artist, we should not do that, but it's kind of like a nervous tick, I guess, that I do.
So that's the other thing. So you should really check on their lashes, and that's why it's always good to be like, okay, you're having retention problems, why don't you come in and I'll take a look at your lashes, we'll try to troubleshoot and see what the issue could potentially be. So that's what I would recommend. Now the other thing is you can actually start troubleshooting. Maybe it's issues that you're doing as a lash artist. So what do you think that could be some issues?
There is a lot of issues that could be, it could be using a old glue example. Some people don't really believe that the fact that once you open the glue, it's only good for 6 weeks.
Sometimes even
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So some people don't believe in that. They're like, oh, there's still glue, that means it's still good. Some people don't shake their glue enough, so the glue separates and you have that clear liquid and the black liquid on the bottom, and they're not mixed well enough. So when you drop the glue, you can see that it's not mixed well enough.
Yeah.
That could be a major issue. There could be the fact that you guys aren't priming their lashes properly, or washing them before the appointment. I know not all the lash artists provide that service. They're like, you should wash them at home before coming, which I understand, but some other eyelash artists do provide that as a service when they come to get their lashes done. So also, you know, the way you're applying the extension to the natural lash, that could be also very, very one of the problems why your retention's bad. You need to look at the way that you're applying the extension. Is the base of the extension really on and stuck on there on the natural lash? If it's not, then it's gonna pop right off within just a couple of days, because, you know, like it's humid outside, it's hot, we sweat, it's normal, so like it's just gonna accumulate debris and it's just gonna pop right off if there's a little bit of space. So what else could you think of?
The other thing you can troubleshoot is sometimes beginner lash artists will tend to use an adhesive that is too fast for them. So if they use an adhesive that is too fast, what's going to happen is, you know, they're going to start isolating, but all the movements are a little bit slower because they're not used to all the movements yet. And so what's going to happen is they're going to isolate, and by the time they're applying the lash extension onto the natural lash, the really quick adhesive has already dried, and so they're gonna apply the lash. It looks like it's applied, but then as soon as the client will go home and start brushing out the lashes, they're gonna all pop right off.
Yep, I've seen that happen a lot of times. So we recommend, well, as a trainer, I recommend for people to start out with the glue about 1 second. I've heard some other educators educate their lash artists to start with a glue that's 6 seconds drying or 4 seconds. I personally think that's way too long. You need to work on your isolation and, you know, kind of figure it out eventually. Like 1 second, it could be approximately, it could be 1.5, it could go up to 2 seconds depending on the humidity, the level of temperature in your room, and sometimes it could go a little lower. So, you know, you really need to find a glue that really works with your environment, because that is huge when it comes to retention. And I highly recommend for you guys not to go for a glue that's 4 seconds, because then you're gonna create all these stickies, and then it's gonna take much longer to dry, and then it's gonna get frustrating. That's too long. I would recommend like a 1 second, 1.5, 2 seconds max of time drying of the glue, and after that you guys are just golden. Then you could just buy a glue that either dries in 0.5 seconds or immediately, because you're just going to work so fast that you won't need a glue that takes time to dry for 2 seconds, because it's just going to take you more time to do your sets.
So that's a really good point. And then the other, the final point that we're gonna mention is the super bonders. So super bonders are actually really, really awesome. They have come out on the market like in the last couple of years, and they actually make a big difference, because the old school of thought, I know some people still do that. I don't know, I would love to know in the comments if you guys still do this, but nano misters. So people used to use nano misters before. The issue with nano misters, after you complete your set and you kind of like seal it with the nano mister, what happens is it kind of shocks the adhesive. It does like a shock cure, and so the bond is not going to be as strong. It's not going to be as flexible and as strong. So it's going to break apart much faster when you do the nano misting. So instead, when you apply the super bonder, what happens is that it makes your glue, the bond that has formed between the lash extension and the natural lash is going to be much stronger and more flexible, and so it's not going to break as quickly. So that's another thing that you can look into, is adding a super bonder to the final step of your lash process. We'll definitely link all the super bonder that you can purchase directly on our website in the comments below. And also we do have a lash retention checklist that you guys can go and check out. We'll link it in the description below as well, so you can get yours. It's on sale right now, so basically, you know, it's good to have on hand in case that you can't remember all these tips. There's actually some additional tips in there as well that you can use, and you'll have it with images, you'll have it with like all the reminders. It's a really good tool to have if you're just starting out, because it's a lot of information to remember, especially when you're just beginning. So do you have anything else to add?
I just highly recommend the retention checklist, because I remember starting out as a lash artist. This was almost a decade ago. It's hard to remember so much information, and all the products, how to use them, plus you need to practice, plus you need to remember everything. It's a lot. So I highly suggest for you guys to check out this retention checklist. It's amazing. We've created it especially for people just starting out, and really help them out to really be able to kind of like, and then eventually you won't need this retention checklist, because you're going to remember everything and it's just going to come naturally. So we'll link it, and you guys definitely should check it out.
So thank you so much for watching. If you found this useful, please subscribe so you won't miss any other videos from us, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you. Bye.